If you think Peppa Pig is just an innocent kids cartoon with no secrets hidden in it, you are completely wrong.
Are you saying I'm stupid?
Do you know the creepiest and most chilling mysteries surrounding the little piggy show? One of the weirdest theories in the Peppa universe involves Madame Gazelle's husband, who's no longer alive. We know this because she lives alone and keeps a framed picture of him in her house. We all know that Madame Gazelle might actually be a vampire since she's super old and has no reflection in the mirror. Now, if that's really true, then her husband could have been just an ordinary animal who lived a long life by her side but chose not to become a vampire. That would be the logical explanation, but that's a total lie. He was a vampire too, and there's proof of it. If you look really closely at the picture in Madame Gazelle's house, you'll see he's wearing a suit and a top hat, the kind of outfit that was popular about 100 years ago. There's also another image of Madame Gazelle's husband at the City Museum, and in that one, he's wearing an 18th century military uniform, which means it's over 200 years old. Could it be that Mr. Gazelle is sleeping in a vampire coffin, or maybe he's somehow lost his immortality? Whatever the answer is, today we're gonna show you 12 mysteries in Peppa Pig. Grab your popcorn, because this is another episode of Cinewave. Where's Auntie Pig's family? If you never thought about this before, get ready, because we're about to reveal one of the creepiest mysteries in the whole show. Let's do the math. Peppa's family has Daddy Pig and Mommy Pig, who are married and have 3 kids, Peppa, George, and the baby who's arriving at the end of the year. In the main family group, there's also Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig, who are married and have 2 daughters, Mommy Pig and Aunt Dottie. In this same pig family, we know Uncle Pig, Daddy Pig's brother, and Auntie Pig. They have kids too, Cousin Chloe and baby Alexander. But hold on, where is Auntie Pig's family? If you pay close attention, she's the only adult pig in the family who isn't related to anyone else besides her own kids. Grandpa and Granny are already elderly, and it's normal to think their parents have passed away. But Auntie Pig's family would have to come from a third pig group that's never once shown up in the cartoon. Mummy Pig's family is the first pig group, Daddy Pig's family would be the second, and Auntie Pig would have to be from a third group that just disappeared. Sticking with the mystery of the pigs, let's try to figure out what could have happened to the others. You probably know that the pig family is always being watched by Miss Rabbit, and it's a mistake to think she's everywhere just by chance. She's actually always wherever the pigs are. The Peppa family is being watched because many years ago, the whole world was hit by a terrible disease, swine fever. And sadly, Peppa and her family are the last of their kind. They're nearly extinct. There are no other pigs anywhere in the world. Peppa's been to New York, Paris, London, and even cities in Australia, and not once have we seen any other pigs. But it's different with the other animals. There are tons of rabbits, cats, dogs, and cows. Miss Rabbit keeps an eye on the pig family because the rest of the world is worried they might vanish completely. But it's still a huge mystery what exactly happened. We're gonna show you 2 images right now. The first one is from the police boat episode, when Peppa, George, and Freddy are sailing down the river with the city police, and they come across a pirate ship. If you look closely, you'll see Pirate Redbeard has a red macaw parrot. The second image is from the Children's Festival episode, when Miss Rabbit is telling the story of Redbeard, but in the photos, he has a different bird, a green parrot who's clearly Polly, Grandpa Pig's pet bird. Polly showed up way back in episode 4 of season 1, meaning she's been around since the very beginning. But this picture of her with Pirate Redbeard hints that Polly has a pirate past. For some reason, Polly decided to leave her pirate life behind and got adopted by Grandpa Pig. And the big mystery here is, what exactly happened that made her quit her sea adventures? Will we ever get to see Polly's past? Would you like to be a pirate? Drop a comment with #ship so we can get to know ya. There's a mystery that might explain why Polly left the ship, and it all has to do with Danny Dog's dad. We know the captain is a retired sailor who swore never to return to the sea, and if you're wondering why, it's pretty simple. Sea monsters. Captain Dog retired because he came face to face with a terrifying sea monster, or maybe he imagined it, but either way, it's super suspicious that this character decided to retire right after the show featured a sea monster. Polly must have seen the same thing and escaped because of it. But the existence of sea monsters makes Peppa's world a much more dangerous place.
I sense I've made a mistake of some kind.
You know that animals come in different sizes and weights, right? Peppa is a pig, Susie is a sheep, and Emily is an elephant. All these animals in real life couldn't possibly be the same size, but in Peppa's world, the rule only applies to the giraffes. In Peppa's world, Gerald is known for being super tall. And when people ask him why he's so tall, he simply says it's because he's a giraffe. And that makes sense. But if that rule really applies, then why isn't Emily Elephant bigger than Peppa? And why is Edmund the same height as Richard Rabbit? We've never gotten an answer, which is why this whole thing is a big mystery. If you think it's because they're all still little kids, well, think again. That doesn't explain it either. Gerald's parents are gigantic, but for the other animals, the height rule doesn't seem to matter. Look at the barbecue scene where Daddy Pig is grilling with his friends. Mr. Bull, Mr. Rabbit, Mr. Zebra, and Mr. Pony. They're all the same height and about the same weight. But in real life, bulls and rabbits are nothing alike. This whole situation leaves us with a huge mystery. Why does the height rule only apply to giraffes? You already know that Aunt Dottie is Mummy Pig's sister, and that alone is already a bit mysterious. But what we really want to show you now is the fact that this character actually tried to hurt her own niece and nephew. Don't believe it? The moment we first learn about Aunt Dottie is when she gives Peppa and George a toy. It's a ride-on horse with wheels, but no brakes. Aunt Dottie knows perfectly well that Peppa's town is built on super steep hills. After all, if she's Mummy Pig's sister, she grew up there too. Which means, even knowing about all the cliffs and slopes, she still gave her niece and nephew a wheeled toy with no brakes. At the end of that story, we see Daddy Pig, a full-grown adult, get into a dangerous accident using that same toy. If Peppa or George had done the same thing, they definitely would have gotten hurt. The big mystery here is, why would Aunt Dottie buy something like that, knowing it was super dangerous? That's a very creepy secret, and we really hope it gets answered. Where does the milk come from? In the episode Daddy Pig's Birthday, we see Peppa's mom baking a chocolate cake for her husband. Her recipe includes butter, sugar, flour, eggs, and chocolate. And just in case you didn't know, butter is made from milk. In the pancakes episode, Mummy Pig uses milk to make breakfast. And in the lunch story, Peppa adds tons of cheese to her sandwich. And everybody knows cheese is made from milk too. But this brings up a serious question. Where exactly do they get milk from if cows are characters in the show and not just regular animals? Does Mrs. Cow sell milk to the town? That's kinda gross. Do the characters in Peppa's world take food from one another, just like we do in the real world? That's a big mystery. You know what's even better than chocolate cake? Subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. Another mystery involves Peppa's school. Our main character is 4 years old, while George is only 2. But they're both in the same class at school, and that's a big mystery. The real question is, if George, at just 2 years old, is in the same class as his big sister, that means Peppa must have been at school at that same age too. But George is learning the exact same things as Peppa, which makes us wonder, what kind of lessons did Peppa have when she was 2 years old? Could it be because George, Edmund, and Richard are all geniuses and skipped a few grades? Or maybe this is some kind of time glitch. Such an interesting mystery. Have you ever noticed that Mr. Wolf might actually be a big villain and even a serious threat to Peppa's town? Every time Mr. Wolf talks to Daddy Pig, he makes it super clear that wolves love the idea of eating pigs. This happened when Daddy Pig was building the Wolf family's house and the dad of the family asked where the pigs live. It also happened at Wendy Wolf's birthday party when her mom wanted to know about the pig family's house too. We all know Peppa's dad is a pretty big pig, and for the wolves, he probably looks delicious. Poor Daddy Pig. There's a huge mystery about Super Potato, and it's not because he looks like Mr. Potato, since it's been proven they're not the same person. I mean, not the same vegetable. The real question is, how is Super Potato able to fly? Why does he have that power? Where did it even come from? It's a total mystery. Could it be that Grandpa Rabbit also ran some experiments on vegetables? Even weirder is, why do the characters in the cartoon fall to the ground when they laugh? If you think back to the ending of every episode, the characters throw themselves onto the ground. Is it really that funny, or is there something wrong with them that makes them collapse every time they laugh? Now that is a mystery. But you know what's no mystery? The fact that you can stick around and hang out with us some more. We picked out 2 more videos for you to enjoy. See you in a bit, and until next time.